Great morning. I'm so glad to have you here on the channel today because we have some important and exciting news as we are wrapping up our fall 40% off sale. So I have two things to share with you today. One, I'm going to be sharing with you the winners of our recent There's a Story contest. We put this call out last week and we got so many amazing stories. I can't wait to share with you my top 5 picks of just stories that were touching and meaningful and funny and poignant and special related to customers' feelings and situations that have happened surrounding their Love Notions patterns. And then I also have a rundown for you of the top 10 fall pattern picks that I think that you might want to consider picking up during the very tail end of our fall 40% off sale. So first, what are my top 10 picks for Love Notions patterns to pick up for sewing up this fall and to get a really great deal on as we wrap up the end of our 40% off sale? So here are my top 10 picks. I tried to give a variety of outerwear and, fall tops and bottoms, fun projects to tackle during this season. And I think all of them would be useful and you should consider grabbing them. Again, our sale wraps up tomorrow, Friday, October 6th. And so now is the time, if you want to take advantage of that 40% off price, then you're going to need to go ahead and jump on them today because we do not do site sales very often at all at Love Notions. Very, very rarely do we have site sales. We don't really jump in on the other normal, typical times for people to have sales. We're not doing anything for Black Friday. We actually are going to have no more site sales at all for the rest of the year. And so now is really the time. If you want to grab some things, this is a really good time to do it. And again, when we do these very short sales, we try to give them a pretty enticing discount. We want to make sure that this is a time for you to just really stock up on the things that you know that you're going to sew throughout the year, that you've been seeing and that you want to tackle, and just some things that might be fun for you on your sewing journey. So here is my top 10 list of things to sew for this fall. If I had to pick a overall number 1 top pick for pieces to sew for fall, it would be the Coda Quilted Coat. This is a new piece that Tami added to the collection last year, and in it she was able to combine her newfound love of quilting along with pattern making. And so the Coda Quilted Coat was born. It has 3 different options for finishing the neckline. There's a hood, there is just the plain bias bound collar, and then there is a collared, a regular collared, traditional collared version. We also combined with Alderwood Studio, Amber from Alderwood Studio, who is actually just finishing up her sew along for the Coda Quilted Coat. And in it, you, for just a couple more days, should be able to get the entire sew along series as well as the freebie quilted pattern that she made to create a lengthened version of the Coda Quilted Coat. And that'll be behind a paywall in the next couple of days. So jump on that if you are at all interested in the Coda. On a related note, if you are looking for a outer layer that has a little bit more oomph to it, maybe more of a winter style cold weather coat, you're going to want to look at the Octave. Now the Octave is such a classic, elegant, beautiful piece, but depending on your fabric, you can really dress it up or down. We also introduced a new wide lapel version that you can add onto your pattern as well, which we love. You can use all types of fabrics for this. We love the princess seams with those integrated pockets. They are really such a beautiful feature. The coat has an optional lining, and you could do that with the lining, or you could just make it more of like almost like a coatigan if you wanted to without the lining. It has a belt for closure, or you could use a single statement button. There are 2 collar options that are a part of the regular pattern, which is a shawl collar or a really dramatic hood. Now the other exciting news is that Tami is currently working on an Octave Coat sewing course, another on-demand course that would be such a great project to tackle for this fall and winter. Keep an eye out for that. Now, another fall pattern that is an absolute must right now is the Arlington Sweater. It's such a great transitional piece to keep you going from late summer, early fall, through fall, all through winter. This one has got every option that you would possibly need to have a quick sew, but with really great stunning results. There's 3 different body styles, including a knee-length dress, a banded shirt length, and as well as like a hip length option. The necklines, here's what really makes the pattern stand out. It's that neckline, the turtleneck, mock turtleneck, and the cowl neck. And then also this pattern also has some really great sleeve options. It's got your regulars, but it also has a bishop sleeve and then a puff short sleeve and a puff long sleeve. So some really cute options inside of this pattern, and it doesn't hurt that it is such a super quick and easy sew. Next up, the quintessential fall pattern, a raglan. Love Notions has this pattern, the Rockford Raglan, available for sizes extra small to 5X. And be sure to check out the coordinating kids pattern, the Wrigley Raglan. This crew-necked raglan has several different body styles, including a banded hem, an asymmetrical hem, a nice loose swing tee, as well as a tunic length. Really fun and crazy. I like to turn my raglans into dresses. It's super easy, and I have a tutorial for that. Or you could add on the Laundry Days cowl, or even add in some of that embossed lettering like Ilse does. You can find links to all of these types of hacks and additions inside of our blog or on our channel. This fall, a lot of us are going to be reaching for sweatshirts, and my favorite Love Notion sweatshirt pattern is the Sloane Sweater. This is an elevated casual basic. What I think that means is that it has those beautiful details where you can really step it up, but it's still casual enough to just wear day to day. So what are some of those special details? Well, it has a front and back yoke option. You can use the high-low shirt tail hem option. You can also just make it a standard pullover with that band and bottom, and then all of the views can be sewn with either that yoke or a standard crew neck. You can add in a crossover V-neck hood, the kangaroo pocket, and even elbow patches. This pattern is another one perfect for any of your hacking needs. Try a color blocking technique, or you could even try a extra deep split hem. As our weather transitions, we're all going to be needing to have an extra outer layer, and the Boyfriend Cardigan is the perfect option for that. You could put it on over a dress, with jeans, over whatever you've got. This pattern was recently updated to not only include extra sizing, but it also now has a extra long duster length. This pattern has a drop shoulder. You can sew it at the mid-thigh length or the duster length. It's got optional side vents, and it has drop pockets. You can choose a shawl collar, or you can create this one with a hood and a simple straight band for the cardigan. Again, this looks great with everything from jeans to leggings to a dress, and you can wear it with so many different kinds of fabrics, from sweater knit to French terry fleece or any other medium to heavyweight knits. As the weather transitions and we're spending more time inside, you might also be looking for a project. You might be looking for something that's really going to give you something to tackle, maybe a little bit of a challenge, but jeans are exactly what a lot of people are going to be trying to tackle this coming fall and winter. But of course, with all of the support and the tutorial directions that Love Notions offers, the Legato jeans are absolutely accessible for any sewist. These are going to be your favorite pair of jeans. They fit amazing. There are so many ways to customize your fit, and they are a straight leg mid-rise jean, and they hit sort of at the ankle, but again, all of those things are things you can adjust to your preferences. You can use denim with just a little bit of a stretch inside of them, and the rise of these jeans is supposed to hit right at or maybe just a tiny bit below the belly button. They're fitted throughout the waist and the hips and the thighs, so there's lots of support there. These are not a low-rise style jeans. These feel so great and will really keep you feeling put together. Now, of course, jeans are a challenge, and sometimes we want someone to be right there with us holding our hand as we sew. And fortunately for you, our next must-have fall purchase from Love Notions this year is the Legato Jeans Sewing Course. This is such a great item to grab right now during the sale, but what you're going to be getting from this is invaluable. You can watch this entire course from start to finish and use it to help motivate you, use it to help instruct you, use it to give you encouragement as you sew these jeans. If you are new to sewing jeans, they're totally possible with a course like this, helping you every single step of the way. From sizing to fabric to tools to pattern adjustments, Tami is going to walk you through every single step of the sewing process. And if you've never sewn jeans before, you need to get this. You especially should get this right now during the sale, because with the 40% off, the regular price of the course is $25, but now it's $15 with our sale going on. And again, that's a discount that would be applying to all of our courses, from the button down to the duet trousers to the Metro Blazer. Right now is an excellent time to get a course. Another pattern that has a sewing course alongside of it is the Aria Button Down. Now, during the fall, I think we often reach for more classic styles, and is there anything more classic than a button down? And you know that Love Notions does classics and wardrobe basics right. So the Arya brings you 3 button down options all together in this one pattern. And you can make so many different styles with those options. So there is a shirt length, a tunic length, or a just above the knee dress length. So this will cover you from every season, and for any occasion, you can use this button down pattern. You can use 3 different sleeve lengths as well as a cuff. There is a long sleeve detail with a really pretty placket in the cuff. And I love wearing a button down dress during the fall especially. It just feels so elevated, but still casual. And it just will go perfect with a jean jacket or with a cardigan or really anything. So this is one of those patterns that transitions so beautifully from summer to fall and then obviously into winter. And it's one of those basics that you're just gonna need for every time of year, and really you can wear it for any occasion. So take a look at Aria Button Down, and keep in mind that of course this pattern also comes with, or has an option to include, the course inside of it as well, so that you can have Tami walk you through every single step. Now, last but not least, here's one that's great for the whole family. We are all needing pullovers right now, and the pullovers from Love Notions are essential for the whole family. We've got the ladies Constellation, the menswear North Star, and the kids Navigator. One of the things we love most about this pattern is that it has that full half zip for all of the body styles, for all of the different versions of the pattern, although you can hack it to have more of a quarter zip if you'd like. This makes such a great giftable pattern, and it's great for nursing moms. It's great for people who don't want to mess up their hair as they're putting on their clothing, and it is just a really practical piece. And now let me introduce you to the winners of our recent There's a Story contest. A couple of days ago, last week early, we offered all of our customers the opportunity to tell a story related to one of their Love Notions patterns, whether that was something that happened while they were searching for the pattern or while they were in the midst of sewing it. There's lots of funny things that happen while we're sewing our patterns for sure. Or maybe something that happened while they were wearing that pattern. Or, the things that you think or feel whenever you look at that particular pattern or piece. And so we picked our top 5 stories. Some of them are funny, some of them are sweet, some of them are moving, but all of them really display the connection that we have with the garments that we sew and the things that we wear. And that's such a special connection. I'm so privileged that we got to see so many people's important moments in their lives connected to Love Notions patterns. It's such a gift. And we really cherish any time that you share a story that helps you experience life inside of your Love Notions patterns. It is such a like a beautiful thing being able to make your own clothes, and sometimes those stories that happen along with those patterns are just really special moments of our lives. And so thank you so much for sharing those special moments of your lives with us. We really, really appreciate it. Our first winner was Erin Craig with her Rhapsody blouse post. She told us a story about something I think all of us felt during the pandemic, and that was how difficult those times were and how sewing got her through it. So this is what she said. There is a story behind this Rhapsody top. In April 2021, 4 months after retirement and in the heart of the pandemic on my island, I found myself feeling very depressed. I had worked for years as a paramedic, a very hectic life, and to be suddenly in lockdown and gripped with fear, I started spending hours on YouTube. A YouTuber posted Love Notions as her favorite pattern company, and I decided to visit the website, and I bought a Forte. Soon after, Rhapsody followed, and I fought off the depression to sew it. Not even feeling confident, I posted and got so many reviews that I was encouraged and inspired to make many more, and I found my joy in sewing again. To this day, Rhapsody is my favorite Love Notions pattern, as I love its many sleeve options and it brings back fond memories. Thanks so much, Arlene, for reminding us all about the power of sewing. Our next winner is Shireen. Shireen's talking about her laundry day tees. She says, "There's a story behind my LD tees. Actually, there are so many stories. The laundry day tee was the first item of clothing I made for myself, and one of my favorite to sew for my best friend, my sister. Multiple versions have taught me so much about sewing and fitting and prompted me to experiment and grow. It helped me conquer neckbands and hemming. Sewing kept me sane during biopsies, surgery, lockdown, trying to support 3 families, an armed robbery, and a myriad of other events beyond my control. Even if the world around me was insanity at its finest, I could retreat to my machine and emerge triumphant with a new LDT to wear to my daughter's baby shower. Sewing and this group helped keep my sanity intact, mostly anyway." Shireen, thank you so much for your entry. I think so many of us identify with the LDT being our gateway into sewing, and we're so glad that we came through. Our next winner is Lisa Kafka. Her story reminds us that sewing can connect us no matter the time or the location. She says, "There's a story behind my Love Notions journey. I've always enjoyed sewing and crafting as a hobby. My mother-in-law was an avid sewist as well, and she passed away in 2016. She had a brand new serger she never got the opportunity to use. Her daughter, who also sews, kept it. My husband wanted me to be able to enjoy the things his mother did, so he bought me a serger in her memory. I had no idea what to do with a serger. I had never made clothes other than random Halloween costumes for my kids. I never had much luck with those thin tissue paper patterns from Joann's. I spent a couple months trying to find clothes sewing patterns on Pinterest. I even tried to trace a shirt I loved to make my own pattern. Big fail. In 2018, I stumbled upon a comment on a Facebook post about Love Notions. I had no idea PDF pattern companies existed. My mother-in-law lived in a suburb of Chicago, just like Tami of LN. I felt so connected. I bought some fabric and made my first garment, the LDT in this photo, and the Ravinia skirt was about to be released, and it looked beautiful even on a very pregnant Tessa. I couldn't wait for the pattern to be released. Fast forward to now. I am hooked, obsessed, whatever you want to say. I wear almost entirely me-made clothes. I own way more patterns and fabric than I can ever make or use. Love Notions is my favorite company and provides the best support and the best community of any of the PDF pattern companies. The second picture is one of my favorite pieces, the lyric dress for my oldest son's high school graduation. I've learned so much and gained so much confidence and styling skills in the last 5 years. This community is life-changing for so many. Having a hobby is so important for so many reasons. I thank the Love Notions company for the product that you provide, and I thank this community for being there for each other. This is truly a special place. Thank you so much, Lisa. That letter meant the world to us. We also got this one from Dana Easterbrook on Instagram. She said, "There's a story behind the Love Notions Kid Compose robe pattern. Every Christmas, I plan to make my grandkids a special handmade Christmas outfit, and last year it was the Kids Compose robe. 2 of my grandkids live far away and 2 live close by. And it's always a challenge to find something to sew that they will all enjoy. But these robes were a big hit by all the kids, with oldest being 7 at the time and the youngest just 3. I always think of these little ones getting a big hug from Granny every time they wear them. And last but not least, our last story comes from Leslie, who actually was one of our testers. She says, "There's a story behind my Coda coat." And she goes on to tell us about some of the things that happened to her from 2020 on, including divorce, some terrible insurance complications, as well as an incredibly serious health condition that caused her to have an amputation. Leslie goes on to say that the Coda coat came up for testing while I was in recovery, and I took a gamble that I would be able to complete the test. Risky because it was my first Love Notions test. I worked so hard on this coat. I had to wait until pain meds would kick in so I could sit at my sewing station. You can see the special shoe I was still wearing post-op in this picture. The story of my Coda coat is recovery. It was the first time I had a chance to get back to my self-care sewing after the double trauma of losing part of my foot and all of my marriage. The divorce went through in March and I'm still in physical therapy, but Kota was a turning point where I knew things would get better again. What was in the past, and it was time to start over. The meaning of Coda is not lost on me either, which just makes this jacket more special to me. Leslie, thank you so much for your story. And for those listening, the Coda means the concluding passage of a piece or a movement. I agree so much with you, Leslie. Thank you for sharing this special piece with us. And we wish you all the best in your new journeys. All right, that's all for us today. Make sure that you grab what you need from the Love Notions 40% off sale and get some inspiration from all of the stories and the top 10 list that we shared with you. If you have any questions about the sale, or if you have any questions about a pattern or need a recommendation, we're always here for you. Make sure that you hop onto any of our other social platforms like Instagram or Facebook, especially our pattern support group. As you're sewing up your patterns or thinking about purchasing one, hop in there and get some feedback from our community. We have a lovely, lovely group of people that are so supportive and encouraging as you sew. So thanks again for supporting Love Notions, and we wish you the very, very best fall, or whatever season it happens to be in your neck of the woods, and also absolutely happy sewing.